Joining us now, was an All-American during her career, is one of the nation's best hitters in the country, arguably the greatest player in Miami of Ohio history. She's doing it again this year among the nation's leaders in home runs and a ton of offensive categories. We could go through the resume. She owns pretty much every record in Miami of Ohio, career records. I speak of Karli Spaid joining us here on In the Circle on D1 Softball. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me.
What's this season been like for you? Here, another great start to the season as we talk for the team. What describe this season so far?
Just super exciting. I feel like we're doing what we've always been doing, year after year, but like I feel like we're a little bit more in the spotlight this year, getting a little bit more recognition than we have in the past, which is just super exciting. And then just living up to the Miami softball name so far.
How would you certainly describe this your teammates, basically this group this year? Your offense right now among the best in the country, and a lot of offensive categories, undefeated, and certainly undefeated in the MAC as we record this. How would you describe this group versus some of the other successful teams you've been a part of?
Super duper special. I think there's just a lot of trust between every single girl on this team, 1 through 20, up and down the lineup, even those on the bench, like coming in to pinch hit. um just knowing like everybody has each other's back and like nobody needs to perform every single at bat of every single game, because even if you don't, like the next person's going to come and pick you up and they're going to perform. Like it's just nonstop up and down the lineup. So I think that's what makes us super duper special this year.
Certainly, the what a lot of people have taken notice is what you and your teammate, your tag team partner, if you will, Jen, has been doing. You're both right there at home runs, driving. Talk about her a little bit.
Yeah, she's just awesome. I think she's really shown what she can do this year. Like we've always known that she was a special player, and just really stepping up this year into the role that she's been given and has not stopped, like all gas, no brakes, and it's super exciting to see.
I would say so. Do you two like Marvel? Like you both go back and forth for the whole nation's home run lead there.
Yeah, I don't know. We just kind of do our thing, and it's just it is what it is. It's fun to see. I think there's a little like competitiveness when one gets one, the other one gets one. So it's just fun going back and forth. Like
Do you
it's
feed
cool to
off each
see.
other? Do you feed off each other?
I think a little bit. I do think a little bit because we've had a couple of back-to-back ones this season, and I feel like more so than ever before, like back-to-back home runs in a season. I don't know. That could be a stat to look up, but
Oh, I like that. That's good. We got to get
yeah.
people in media relations to get behind that a little bit there. Have you two got a nickname? There's always been in the past some great combos that they get nicknames. Do you have a nickname for each other yet or no?
I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, all right, let's hit him with the 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
I also say that to Holly too, who's behind me in the lineup, but I don't know. We got to think of one.
Okay.
That would be a good thing to think of.
You got some time to think about
Yeah.
that a little bit there. Speaking of playing for Coach Kumar, what makes this offense so successful since she's been the head coach? It seems like you've put up numbers this year, obviously even at a different level, but it seems like since she's been there and you've been there, there's been a lot of consistency on the offense. What makes her such a great coach?
Yeah, I think just like letting us do our thing. Um, Not overcomplicating hitting because we've all been doing it for 20 something, 18 something years, like just trusting our abilities and then making the like smallest adjustments. It's not like this giant thing that you have to change in between at bats or in between games. Like we all have the ability and she trusts that and makes us trust that, and just like making sure that what we do change, if anything, is just small and minute. And yeah, a lot of trust, I think.
Let's talk a little bit about you and your journey. First, what got you into playing softball when you grew up?
I really played like every single sport there was offered growing up. I was really big on softball and soccer. My dad played baseball, my brother played baseball. I also played football, but I just kind of picked up every single sport I could. And then towards the end of like going into high school, I really got serious about softball and was like, okay, I think I could see myself playing this, hopefully at the next level. So
I think you made the right choice.
yeah,
Playing softball. How'd you end up at Miami?
I mean, so I was originally committed to Loyola in Chicago. Then they went through some coaching changes and stuff like that. And then I did some reflection. I was like, I don't know if I really want to stay in the city that I've been growing up in. Like, I kind of want to go out, experience something different, experience like a really like college feel town, you know. And then opened up my recruiting again, going into my senior year summer of high school. So that was a little scary. But then yeah, I took a couple of visits, took a visit to Miami, and as soon as I stepped on this campus, I was just like, yeah, this is where I want to be. The campus is beautiful. I don't know if you've seen it, but red bricks everywhere. All the buildings like are very uniform together. It's just a very, very pretty campus. And then the softball facilities are great. Got to meet the coaches who were different back then, but they seemed very excited about the program. And then the girls, like especially, were just super like family right away and made me feel very like wanted and included in the program from the start. So like that
Uh,
was when I made the choice.
When do you think was the turning point where you gained that confidence? Like, hey, I could be successful at this level.
I think my freshman year after getting back freshman of the year, I think that's when I was like, okay, oh, because that was never a thought.
Sure.
I was just coming into college hoping to see the field, maybe be a pinch runner or something. I don't know. And then just happy to be there, honestly. And then got that award and I was like, oh, okay. I think I maybe could get a couple more. We'll see what happens. And then that's when I really was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
That's yeah, I think that's worked out for you pretty well. For sure. You were named third team All American in 2022. Do you remember when you found out you were an All American?
Mm. Yeah, I think it was in my dorm room. Or no, I think it was at home. I don't know. I wish I did.
Did you get a phone call? Do you remember if you got a phone call?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. I remember my coach calling me. I don't remember exactly where I was at, but then yeah, I was just like speechless, like could not comprehend what was going on. And then I hung up and I was like, oh man, wow, that happened. That's awesome. Like that was just another thing like never expected to happen. Like I've said it before, but like I didn't know it was a dream until it came true. Like
I
awesome.
bet the family was excited when you told her.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a pretty good mantle
Super
to say.
fun.
Yeah, it's a pretty good
Yeah.
resume to have there. You hit 28 home runs that year. You've been describe your swing for those that haven't seen you swing. Describe your approach at the plate.
Okay. So I think I don't know. I'd like to say I have a very smooth swing. Like there shouldn't be a lot going on in the swing. It should just be boom right there. I don't know. I think it's pretty smooth. Um, my approach at the plate, I like to just try to not think. And if I do think, it's something very small and it's like a keyword that will trigger my swing to go, which right now I'm like saying hips in my head. So getting my hips to go first. And that's kind of the only thing I want to think about. I try not to think about the outcome of the at bat or the game because I think that's when my head starts to stir and then I'm thinking about way too much. Um, and then just having confidence in myself, I think that's huge in this sport, the sport of a lot of failure. Just constantly giving yourself gratitude and credit for what you've done and what you've been doing. So just believing in myself at the plate too, like before at bats, I'll give myself a little pep talk.
Staying positive and confident, right? Because the sport can be so mental, right?
Absolutely.
Are you one depends on data, for example, as far as an at bat? Do you like to watch tape a lot of times? Or are you one that's about instincts? Describe your kind of how you prepare for a game and for when you get to the plate.
Yeah, we watch a ton of film. I like to go and look at my at bats for sure, and I'll sit down with our hitting coach and like look at foul balls that I hit and see why they weren't fair. um, and then just make like little adjustments from there. But honestly, most of the time it's timing, um, and just yeah, I would say most of the time it's timing and just figuring out when I need to start my swing with the pitcher, what their speed is, what they're throwing, and how I need whether it's a drop ball and I need to adjust that way or a rise ball, stay on top of it. Just kind of looking at what they're throwing and adjusting from there. So yeah, definitely film is big.
Do you remember the first time where you noticed, like, wow, this girl, my teammate here, Jenna, she's just as she can really hit as well.
Yeah, I think well, we've always known it. Like she's got just got a ton of power, super great hand eye. Like um but this year, beginning of this year, it was just like she's started super hot and has not stopped, which is so exciting to see.
How are you two similar? How are you two different as far as hitters?
Mhm. Huh. I think I feel like we're pretty similar. Like um
Numbers suggest that, so that sounds about
yeah,
right.
right? We're both yeah, we like to take the extra base when we can. Both hit the long ball, obviously. She's really fast. I've got some speed too. I think we have similar approaches, like with the confidence and just trusting ourselves and our ability. I think up and down the lineup, everyone has that approach pretty much. Um, yeah, I feel like she has maybe like a quicker, like shorter swing than I do. I feel like I have a pretty long swing. Um, that's what I would say we're different. I don't really know her mental approach
Sure.
there. I guess that's something to talk about with her and find out. That's cool. But
Oh no, that
yeah.
makes sense. Who's a player that's under the radar, underappreciated, at least nationally? Because you and Jen have got a lot of attention this year, rightfully
Mhm.
so. But who's a player or two? Because you got a lot of talented hitters. There are a lot of people that get on base because, as a result, you two have been able to drive in runs. Who's some players that you feel, hey, give them some attention, some credit? Because without them, we're not as successful where we're at.
Yeah, absolutely. Holly Blaska, she's a stud. I feel like every time I look, she's on base hitting a double or a home run too. Like it's insane. Um, Kate Kobayashi too, super solid. A lot of walks this year, which is really cool to see. I feel like she's super patient in the box, which is just awesome. Like we talk about her takes that she has on pitches, like the way she can hold her bat back is really something special to see. Like really finding the pitch that she wants to hit and has become very successful with that too. Um, got a couple freshmen in the lineup. Sammy Buick, she's going to be great for this program for years to come, and she's just getting started. And her freshman year, she already is doing outstanding. So it's going to be fun to watch her career as she goes on too.
And I know you're going to be watching them closely, very well. Uh,
Definitely.
you've been to the NCAA tournament throughout your career. Got to a regional final last year at Evanston. Describe playing in the NCAA tournament.
It's special. It's it honestly feels like our preseason games. Our coach schedules a lot of Power Five schools with big crowds that like to come out and like will kind of give you the same atmosphere as it is in postseason. But obviously, there's just that extra level of um, like meaning to it when it's postseason, obviously. Um, which I think we have a pretty old roster this year who has had a lot of experience in the postseason. So that's really fun. Can kind of help the freshmen and newcomers who haven't been to the postseason um, get a feel for what that's like and like help experience, like let them know like, how it's going to be. Um, but being at regionals is just super duper fun. And I really hope know that we can make it further than that this year.
Yeah, you've had some success, and I know that you shoot for higher. That you mentioned those challenging non-conference games that coach schedules. Well, you none bigger than Oklahoma this year, which went viral. You were the opponent for them at their new stadium. Describe, now that you've had some time to reflect, playing part of that game, which was a back and forth game that a lot of people enjoyed. And you made a little bit of a history there. You'll be the first ever player to hit a home run at the Love Field. And Norman, describe that game for you now that you've reflected on it.
Yeah, that was just an outstanding game. I mean, probably one of the best games to ever be a part of, like in my career at least. Um, it was just surreal being there and being able to open up that field, like kind of an honor, definitely an honor just to be able to be there. And then the way that we went into it, our mentality was just like, we've got nothing to lose. Like nobody's betting on us. So why not just go and show them who we are? This is our opportunity to make waves and let shock the nation, honestly. I feel like we did that, and it was just super exciting to be a part of that.
You got
And
you got people talking. That was the thing.
yeah,
It went viral. I don't know if you were aware of that, but people got into that game. They were talking and they were really impressed by your team.
yeah, that's all we wanted to do was show people that even though we're a mid-major and not a mid-major that's really talked about often, but like we're here and we're ready and we've been ready, but it's exciting that we finally got that spotlight to show what we can do.
Do you remember that home run you hit?
Of course, I don't think I'll ever forget it.
Describe that home run, that moment there. You'll be the first one ever to hit the home run, whether they acknowledge that or not. Who knows? But everybody else that watched the game will remember.
Yeah, that was just super surreal. Definitely very I was very calm going into the box, I think. Just let myself like spoke confidence into myself and was like, okay, yeah, like there's no stress here. Like just go out, have fun, play softball. This is what little kids dream of playing at Oklahoma. So being able to be at that stadium was just like a super surreal moment, and I was calmer than I thought I would be. And then I kind of just told myself, see a good pitch to hit, and then off the bat, I knew it was gone. And then I running around the bases, I could not stop screaming. Like my mouth was just wide open probably the whole time. Every picture there is there, like my mouth's just wide open screaming. Super pumped. Yeah.
The thing that impressed me, everybody remembers that game. It was a back and forth game. They come back and win it on a walk off. You had to come back and play a very talented Louisiana team, the Raging Cajuns, 30 minutes after that. I believe you had to go to the old stadium to play in that game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yet you were all able to bounce back and beat Louisiana. And we all know what happened with Louisiana later that weekend. They were the team that knocked Oklahoma off. And I think even listening to Jerry Glasgow and the Louisiana players, they saw what you did against them and certainly gave them confidence. But how were you able to put that heartbreaking loss, a great game, but a heartbreaking loss against Oklahoma, and put that in the rearview mirror and go right back and play a really good game and beat a good, talented Louisiana team?
Yeah. So in the we had a little team circle, team chat before the second game started, and we were like, that was one of the best games we have played. Um, just because we were all so loose and all so relaxed and just were having fun, like not stressing about outcomes, not stressing about winning or losing, just playing the game and having fun. And that's something we emphasize for the next game. Like that game was over, done with, great job. Didn't win, but great effort. So we were like, yeah, let's just go out and play with that same mentality. Let's just play the game and have fun.
Do you all as a team got a lot of confidence out of that weekend? Because I feel like you've been a different team since that weekend. Is that accurate?
Yeah, definitely. I would say that.
What's next for you? Are you gonna try to play pro softball? Is that a goal? And then after, what else are you gonna be doing post softball?
Yeah, that's definitely a goal. Um, the opportunity arises, I would definitely love to play the sport. I love it so much, and I hope I can continue to play it. I'm going to be a graduate assistant next year at Tennessee, so I'll be there for a couple of years getting my master's degree.
Graduate assistant at Tennessee. That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
I don't.
What led to going out to Tennessee there? What are you hoping to kind of get a graduate degree on?
Something in leadership, I hope. Um, just kind of, yeah, get the master's in leadership, kind of take me wherever. if coaching is what I want to do, which I think it is, like that's a good degree to have for that. And then if not, we'll see what happens outside of there. But I am looking forward to it, and I really hope that coaching is what I want to do. And I feel like I'll learn so much from that staff who's just extremely intelligent and obviously is doing is a great coaching staff.
I was
Obviously, I
gonna
gotta
say
say,
that's a pretty good staff to pick from to as
yeah,
far, to see if you're gonna be want to be a coach or not. That's a good start. That's pretty good.
absolutely.
That's pretty awesome. A couple last things before I let you go. What's gonna be the keys for your team here moving forward? You've been through this. What's gonna be the key here the second half of the year to accomplish your goals? Try to win another MAC championship, get back to the tournament.
I think just keep doing what we're doing, just keep going out and having fun and playing loose and just playing softball, Miami softball. When we pitch, hit, play defense and run bases, we do very well. So just going out and having fun and leaning on our teammates. I think the season gets long, so just constantly um, leaning on your teammates for support is really important in a long season like this. So just that.
You own a lot of career records at Miami, home runs. You name it. You've got the records. I'm not going to read them off because you got to get going. Otherwise, it would take forever. But is there a record or two that maybe you're more proud of more than any other? Is that something that even like crosses your mind?
I try not to think about it too often because yeah, I just feel like that'll get just up in my head and then that'll be all I'll think about. But um yeah, probably the career home run one. That one's pretty cool.
I'd say so. That's pretty good. It's
Yeah.
gonna be pretty good. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, let's say you come back to campus. It's a they're celebrating one of your teams. You get honored. What do you want people to say about Karli Spaid 5, 10 years from now when your name gets brought up?
Um One of the best players to ever play at Miami. I would love that. Well, obviously I hope a lot of talent keeps coming into the program that is so talented. And I feel like with what we've done, it'd be sad to not see kids want to come to this school. So I hope they break all my records as they should. Um, but yeah, just passionate. I think passionate about the sport and just like, yeah, I would
Just
say
love
that
this, love the
passionate.
program, love the
Yeah,
school.
absolutely.
What would you
Passionate about it all.
What would you tell people as far as about what would be great to come and play at Miami? What describe that for those that are like, hey, this is why you should come to play here in Miami.
I think just all aspects of a college and a collegiate program. The coaches are amazing. The girls are amazing. They will welcome you with open arms because that's our culture. The culture here is outstanding, and we've built it up from. We've been carrying it on throughout the years, but we've added little things here and there that I think are just really important and are what make us successful. Is that everyone buys into our culture here. Um, and then facilities really great, probably the best in the MAC, I would say. Um, it just doesn't feel like a mid-major here. And then there's a big emphasis on school too, which I think getting a Miami degree is something that not a lot of people can get, and it's one of the best universities in the nation. So you're getting outstanding softball and outstanding school. You're going to meet a lot of great people here.
That is Karli Spaid, joining us here on In the Circle on D1 Softball. Thank you so much for taking the time from your busy class schedule to talk to us. Congrats on this, what you've accomplished, and wishing you well moving forward. It's been fun. It's fun watching you play, and certainly I'm glad to get you on the podcast. Awesome to see what you've been doing and will continue to do. Thanks for doing this and talking to us for a few minutes. Good luck the rest of the way, and thanks for coming on here on the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It was super fun.